It's nice to be back, lads.
Yeah.
A big podcast. I'm starting this off a little bit differently today.
It's a bit more casual, isn't it?
For the listeners listening,
to see something different.
I did say before the podcast we were going to start off quite differently today, so this is unique because it's been a changing week at our football club. I feel
We've decided to change as well.
We've decided to take our inner Mark Sampson. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Stevenage Football Club podcast, our 11th episode, hosted by myself and Borough fan Matt Farley, along with, I normally say guests, but I'm going to say along with friends of the podcast, discussing everything Borough, everything League Two, every week of the season. So quite nice to start differently. Yeah. I do have two regulars with me today for this massive podcast. I believe it's the biggest one yet. A massive welcome back to my second in command and regular and experienced pod, Harley Clark.
Hello.
Welcome back, Harley.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you back.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's a big one today, isn't it?
It's a very big one.
It's a very big one today. It's quite an exciting podcast. It's great to have you back, Harley, mate. And also, he hasn't been on the podcast for a couple of weeks now, but a massive big welcome back to 5th place League Two prediction competition, Danny Lusby.
Thank you, Matt. Delighted to be here again. Happy to be back.
How is it to be 5th?
Well, I'm in the top 5. It's
better
still
than
a long way
better
to
than
go.
sixth.
Yeah, still a long way to go. But
I mean, you're not.
I'm very confident
you know,
I'll get to that top 3.
You're just not like me and Harley just yet. You know, top 3 is like
I'm making slow progress, aren't I?
Slow progress. He's on my tail. He's only 4 points off me. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's been really difficult holding him off because you've equalled my score the last few weeks. When I get 16, he gets 15. When I got 17, he gets 16. It's like, I can't pull away from Danny. So it's half points. But no, welcome back, Dan. It's great to have you back, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Great to have you back.
Yeah.
So, lads, it has been a massive week for the club, hasn't it? We've had the big news. Now, before we get into the loss at Cheltenham, we will come to the massive news that was released on Monday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning. It was like 7 o'clock.
Morning, I believe.
That Dino Maria has been sacked as manager. Mark Sampson taking over in a caretaker role along with Alex Ravel, who, you know, as we know, Alex, ex-player of the club, but coach at the under-18s, as assistant going forward. Now, it's a bit of a difficult one to talk about this because obviously, you know, Dino was a club legend and we all know that he's had a tough start. Harley, I'll come to you. Did you see this happening this early into the season? Was it fate for it to happen considering the results?
After the start we've had, I think it was inevitable. It was either going to be a case of it would happen Monday or it'd happen next Monday. You know, just of course I feel for Dino because I don't think everything's gone in his favour. You know, we've had a lot of problems with the start of the season. Yeah. You know, you just have to look at the injury list for that. We're missing several key players, but you have to adapt to your problems and then resolve them, you know.
Yeah, completely agree.
Send the best wishes to Dino, of course. I hope he gets back into work soon, but I think it was the right decision, probably the right time, because if we left it any longer, who knows, we could go 9 or 10 games without a win.
Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree with you. After the loss at Cheltenham, I kind of said to myself, we've got 2 home matches coming up, maybe it'll be good to see how he does in that, but when the news did get announced, I kind of thought to myself, do you know what, if we would have left this and said I'll give him September and the team just ended up losing more matches, we'd be in so much worse of a place, wouldn't we? So I think to get it out the way early, it allows the club and the team and the players to actually move forward. Danny, I'll get your thoughts about it. Dino getting sacked, again, as I asked Harley, you know, did you think it was the right time and did you see it coming?
Yeah, absolutely. It was the right decision. Obviously, you know, a poor run of results, first 7 games of the season. We're in September now, and I think, you know, early cup exit, 3 points out of a possible 21, it's not good enough. And, you know, well, I do feel for Dino. I think, you know, Dino did try. Yeah. He did try really, really hard, you know, to get the players playing the way they should. It just didn't go in his favour, like Harley rightly said. But, you know, if Dino's listening, I do wish him all the best for his future and new job if he has another one lined up.
Yeah, completely
but
agree.
Phil Wallace wasn't going to leave it too long. You know, he wants the club to go forward. Obviously, he hasn't been impressed with, you know, our run of form. And it's time for a change. And I think Mark Sampson will come in and he'll make sure that, you know, this club has a successful season.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I'm pleased that Alex Ravel has come in as well. You know, something new for him. He's never coached before. And I think, you know, a bit of experience under his belt will do him a world of good. So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think as well, yeah, I mean, 3 points and 21. I mean, and I understand that we've had a lot of injuries, and we have, you know, we've had so many injuries, and once again, you know, Scotty Cuthbert going injured on Saturday, so we've had so many injuries.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think that was very unlucky, but to only come away with 3 points and 21, no wins, and that's including the cups as well.
Yeah.
The Football League Trophy and the League Cup. I think, you know, it was inevitable for it to happen. I do think that, as sad as it is to lose Dina, because Dina is a club legend, I think it's an exciting new chapter, because I think it gives us a fresh start at the club, and I think that Mark Sampson is a really good appointment as a caretaker at this moment. He has managed the top level of the game in the women's standard, and England being at the Nationals and World Cup, and he's used to managing under pressure. I think it's a great appointment. Echo your words about Alex Ravel, knows the club and he's played with a lot of those players. So it was sad to see Dino going again. We all wish Dino the best of luck for the future. I'm sure Dino will go and be very successful. He's got a lovely family, Dino has. But at the same time, one door's closed and another door's open, and we've got a nice fresh start at the club, a new chapter, and I think Mark Sampson's going to be exciting.
If you actually look sorry Dan, if you just actually look into the announcement of Dino getting sacked and then Phil Wallace's statement, doesn't actually say that we're looking for a new manager.
Doesn't. Very good point.
It's
very good point.
A couple of lads have mentioned this in the group chat. What you're sort of saying, maybe this is a chance for Sampson to show that he could do it and then get the job on a permanent, because although he's saying he's a caretaker, this is sort of his audition, if you like, to really try and get his...
That is a really good point. I was just about to say that as well, Harley. It didn't say while we look for another... It said Mark Sampson's now caretaker with Alex. It didn't say anything about other appointments. I think the other good thing about this as well is I think we're going to keep Sampson no matter what. If he starts off poorly, I think they'll appoint someone and keep Sampson because he's such a good coach. But the way I look at it is, I think it's a win-win. If he does well, brilliant, he gains that experience. Even if it doesn't go well, he's experienced managing in the Football League, so he's got that. And then if someone else comes in the future, if he ever gets back in the hot seat, he's experienced setting out the team and managing so it's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, very happy for Sampson. Do you know what? Our first pod, and it was me and you, Harley, I don't know if you remember this, we were doing the podcast and we were going through the new coaches, and we both said, if Dino ever... Do you remember this?
Yes,
if Dino ever moved on or got fired, but we didn't believe it at the time, that Sampson would just step in. And it's happened. It's this early on. It's crazy, isn't it? It is. I remember saying that. I said that to someone the other day. But no, big news this week, and very excited to see how Sampson get on.
Yeah.
Now, I did tweet out to supporters on the Stevenage Football Club Past Twitter page. Please go and follow if you don't. About... tweet who would you like as manager at the club, because obviously Sampson's caretaker, and I got a few tweets back with different names. Some are funny, some are serious. One is extremely funny, you're going to hear why in a bit, but I'm just going to read them out now, and this is from the supporters that have sent in. Johnny Hibbard said Mark Sampson.
I think it's obvious.
I think that's ours, isn't it, to be fair. Old Borough Bar Steward said Ian Holloway.
That's my choice.
That's your choice.
I would love
a quirky manager, isn't he?
I would love Holloway.
I'm sticking with Sampson.
Now, this is a bit of a weird one that tweeted in. The Dan and Kev Show. I don't know who they are, but they've tweeted in Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell is a replacement. Now, this is the funny one. Ellis Adaway, I do believe he's playing in the charity match, tweeted in and said he'd like to see new manager Matt Farley. So I'm free. I'm pretty sure I'm not better than Mark, so I'll be Mark's assistant. Mark, if you're listening and you do want an assistant...
better than Alex Ravel, of course.
well, I give Ravel some competition, but Mark, if you're listening and you do want a coach or an assistant, please get me in. I'll be up there. Ratman, quite a funny name, said Leon Hunter. Owen said Jose Mourinho, which is obviously quite a funny one.
We'd all love that.
John Norris said Samson as well. Craig Atkinson said Michael Owen.
Unusual one, isn't it?
I don't know if that's funny or. Paul said Martin Keown.
No.
I think that's a joke one as well. And Colleen said Ian Holloway. So 2 for Holloway, 2 for Samson, and 1 for Matt Farley. I think I'll take that any day.
I'm glad no one suggested Wesley. But...
Yeah, do you know what? Quick question: would you ever take Wesley back?
Not a chance.
No,
not a chance.
He's had his time at the club. He's had 3 or 4 goals.
Do you know what? I'll give Wesley his dues. He was very successful. Whenever he managed there, he was always playoff winners, conference. He was always successful.
But it's time for a fresh face at the club now.
True, I think you're like to move
Samson to be that into that position.
It's the Samson era. Really quickly, just before we move on to the Cheltenham result, one point I want to make, and I just want to get your boys' thoughts on it as well. It seemed to be a pattern the last 3 managers that we've had that. They're gone within 2 years. If you look at Sheringham was gone quickly. Darren Sole, 2 years, not enough experience. Dino Maria, 8 months gone. For me, and I don't know what you boys think, and I'll ask you about this in a bit, Harley, we want to see a manager more than 2 years who can actually stay at the club, improve the team, and actually take the team places, don't we? Rather than just be here 18 months and gone again, don't we? Because it's a transition period, isn't it? So theoretically, we want Samson hopefully for years.
I think the difference is though, the managers like I say we brought in the last 3 who we had Sheringham, Sol, and now Dino. They've all not had any actual managerial experience in League Two.
Good point.
Sol was a good coach, but that's different to managing the team. And Sheringham was the weirdest mistake I think the club will ever make.
I think that was all down to attendances, boosted attendance.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah,
it didn't do anything, and then we paid the price for it. Like we were on the verge of relegation that season. Dino's a weird one because I think if Dino had kept the job, maybe give it a year or 2, we would really be challenging. But it's a results business at the end of the day, and. Yeah. I think with the experience Samson's got, he might not have much in the men's game, but he's done it at the highest level in the women's, and that's
because a lot of people have said they're a bit worried about the Samson experience in the Football League, and I can understand their worries because the last 3 appointments haven't been experienced at all at managing a Football League club. But my point is Samson has managed at an elite level. Sheringham, Sole, Manria never did that. He was the England ladies manager. He was under the spotlight. Everyone was watching him. He's used to managing. Yeah. And the level, as we saw at the England ladies in the last competition, the level's really good. It's a good standard. I don't think it'll be a problem. What do you think, Danny? You think it'll be an issue or?
No, not at all. I mean, I understand he hasn't got experience at this level, but you can look at other managers in this league who haven't had the experience.
Well, you look at Sol Campbell, for example.
Yeah, look at Michael Flynn at Newport.
Yeah.
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, would that be another when he first got appointed from Burton?
Even Darren Sole. When Darren Sole had his first season at Stevenage, we finished in the top 10, didn't we? Good season.
We did. We fell at the end.
Yeah, we fell at the end.
That was the season I thought. That was the season I thought we're going up because
we just ran out of steam.
Darren did well that season.
See, because I saw Chris Day the day after the season finished, because obviously I used to work at Sainsbury's, so he used to come in all the time. Yeah. And he said, and he did say that at the end that we just ran out of steam. We weren't ever meant to be up there that season. Yeah. And he just said,
all down to luck.
We did have a few older heads, didn't we?
He said
King, didn't we?
Yeah, he said, like, we just had our ages and all that, we just couldn't keep up with it anymore. And I think 10th was a really good finish for us. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. It was a really good finish.
It was. We were up there. But that's what I want to see at our football club now. We've had the last 3 appointments we've had transition seasons and we've had people get fired. You know, let's keep Sampson. Hopefully Sampson does well. Obviously it's a results business, but I want to see a manager stay at our club and build our team over the few years, not just gone in 18 months because they've had a poor start and be fired. I know it's difficult for clubs like us because we don't have a lot of money and, you know, we're small, but, you know, I want to see a manager, and hopefully this is Sampson that can do it, that can stay at the club for 4 or 5 years and build a team and get promoted and do all these great things. So it's exciting for us, and again, we're very excited to see Sampson in his first match Saturday, aren't we? It should be good. Now, just before we come on to Saturday, we will have a quick readout of the match that was obviously just gone on Saturday. Dino Memoria's last match, it was a 4-2 loss away at Cheltenham, another loss. It was a bit of a weird game on Saturday. I thought the first half we were terrible, too much hoofball. And then the second half, when we started to get the ball down, we actually started to play quite well. Danny, I know you were there. What were your thoughts on Saturday? It was a bit of a weird game because we were in the game and then we just let it slip at the end, didn't we, from poor tactics? Yeah,
it was very disappointing. It was very, very poor. I think if I've got to be honest, it's one of the poorest games I've seen in a long time.
Worse than Salford?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, conceding 4 goals to Cheltenham is it's not good, really. I know Cheltenham are unbeaten at home since January, but you know, if you want a challenge, you know, you've got to be beating teams like that, and that was a must-win game for us, in my opinion. Yeah. Obviously, to keep Dino's job, and at the end, it obviously resulted in Dino leaving. Yeah. But yeah, first off, it was awful. Yeah. I think you can agree as well.
Yeah, I don't think the ball hit the ground for us once.
I know it's football and anything can happen, but I just don't get how you can go from drawing 0-0 away at a team like Mansfield and Orient, you know, teams that are going to be up there this year, and then go lose 4-2 to Cheltenham.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I was very.
But the thing is for me, and this is what I think Sampson will bring. We've actually got some really good players, and I think what's disappointed me is we've seen the ball in here. It's been like volleyball the last 9 matches, and what I now want to see, and I'm sure Sampson will do this because if you watch Sampson's England team play, they play football the balls and. I honestly get the ball down and play. We did that on Saturday for a bit. Danny Newton scored 2 goals and we were in the game, and then we started oofing the ball again.
Defensively, we were very poor. I don't know why Scott Cuthbert was playing because he looks.
No, that's disappointing, isn't it?
I think that's why, you know, if Cuthbert was fit, you know, Cheltenham wouldn't have scored their first goal. You know, Cuthbert looked shot, didn't he? But
no, it was one of those matches. Now, normally I would read out the 3-word analysis, but a lot of the 3-word analysis was just to do with Dino, so I'm not going to read them out. There's no point to read them out. What's been done's done, so we're going to skip the 3-word analysis from the match on Saturday. Now, we are going to move on to the 2 upcoming matches because it's a new, fresh start at the club. We've got 2 new, fresh matches coming up. Our first one is our 8th League 2 match this Saturday at home against Carlisle, and then on Tuesday we've then got another home match, our 9th League 2 match of the season against Northampton. Now, it is Sampson's first match in charge, so I think we're all very excited about this. Now, today he did do an interview, and we're just going to have a quick listen to his interview because it is quite cool that we've been able to get an interview where Sampson's done before the podcast, so we're going to take a listen to that now.
Mark, first of all, it must have been a difficult but hectic few days. How's it been from your point of view?
It has been a difficult period. It's never nice when a member of staff, a colleague, loses their job, and someone who is so heavily connected to the football club over many years as a player, assistant manager, and as a manager, loses their position. So it has been a difficult time for the players and the staff, and for us to try and find a way to move forward now. But we've dealt with that emotional side. We spoke as a group about how thankful we were for the impact the manager had on the team, on the football club over many years, and we all, in our minds, we wished him every success in the future. I'm sure we'll go on to achieve some great success in the future. But for us now, it is about how we move forward.
And so, with that in mind, what has been your overriding message to the players this week?
Well, I think for the players, the overriding message has been that we're ultimately responsible for the mood in this building. And every one of us has got to take that collective and individual responsibility to make sure that we are impacting the mood we want within this environment, which is we want people to be positive, we want people to be on the front foot, we want people to be thinking that they can express themselves on the field, and we're going to work really hard. So that level of professionalism from the players has been outstanding. Their reaction since Sunday's news has been a credit to them as not just players but as human beings. I think the staff and the players have come together, have really helped create a positive environment and mood, and we're working hard on the training pitch to try and produce a big performance on Saturday.
And you're joined by Alex Ravel during this interim period. What kind of assistance will he be able to give you?
Yeah, I was delighted when I spoke to Revs about the possibility of he coming to support me as manager. I was absolutely delighted when he was over the moon to accept. He's a really great human being. He's got such good values. And obviously everyone at the football club has got so much respect for him because of what he did as a player and what he's done as a short term as a coach of the under-18. So I've enjoyed incredibly working with him so far. Only been a couple of days, but our relationship's already gone to the next level. So we're both excited now about where we can take this team and what we can do with the players and how we can help them improve performance on a Saturday.
2 home games in a row coming up in quick succession, probably the perfect way for you to start your interim tenure. What's your message to the supporters ahead of those 2 games?
Well, the message to the supporters is that, first and foremost, when we've played at home, there's been a significant difference in our home and away performances. If you look at the home performances so far, they certainly have been reflected by results. So we've got to maintain at least that level of performance and look to raise the bar, and obviously look to turn those performances into good results. But the message to the players this week has been, let's be together. Let's defend together, let's attack together, let's run together. And that'll be the message to the supporters, that these players need you now more than ever. So let's really show as a football club how together we are. Let's get behind the players as best we can. I can promise everyone they're desperate to be successful. They're desperate for this football club to go on and achieve great things. And that does start Saturday. So I'm hoping we see a good turnout first and foremost. A respectful round of applause for the former manager and the work that's gone on there. And then we really stick together, we work hard to support these players to get us a positive result.
So, a really positive interview there from Mark Sampson. I like what I heard there. I heard a lot of passion. He used passion, and it sounds like he wants to get on. I mean, what do you take from that interview, Harley?
I think it's good because he's sort of saying, look, we can't dwell on the past. It's happened, and he's just saying, look, we just got to move forward. And I think that's the only way he could have really started that, was saying, look, you just got to look forward to the future. Like I say, what's happened's happened, but onwards and upwards.
Yeah, I completely agree. But for me, it's really good listening to him because he oozes passion. You can tell he absolutely loves the game. He loves football, and you can tell he's going to do his utmost to bring the team and bring the club hopefully results. What I liked is that it sounds like the players have had a really good week so far. It sounds like they've been stuck into training, and it sounds like he's having a really good working relationship with Alex Ravel as well. So that seems to
that
be
was a nice
really
touch
well.
to hear that they've really
clicked,
yeah.
And he said some really nice things about Ravel there, and Ravel's a really nice guy as well. So really interesting. Now, obviously, big fresh start, as I said earlier. Carlisle at home Saturday. Danny, I'm going to come to your thoughts about this. Obviously, we've got no win from 7, 3 points from 21, only 1 point at home, so it would be massive to get a win and get 6 points beneath the club, considering what's happened going into Tuesday. What are your thoughts on the match?
I think it's the perfect start for Mark, if I'm perfectly honest. Carlisle, are in poor form. I think they've only they've lost 4 out of their last 6, I believe. So 6 or 7, I think. So they're not in great form, and I think it's a good opportunity for this team to go out there, put in the performance, not a fantastic performance, and get that first win on the board. Build yourself a platform. If Mark gets the team selection right, which I think he will, he seems confident that we can get 3 points Saturday. But it's a perfect start for him.
I agree. Do you know what as well? Sorry about it, but I think actually on paper it's probably our easiest match so far that we've had, haven't we? If you look at the first month we know was the absolute killer month, but even Macclesfield and Cheltenham were up there. For me, 3 points would be huge. It would be such a weight lifted off the players, and a weight lifted off Mark as well, because he's got a lot of pressure to do well at the minute because obviously what's happened, and just to have a platform. Hopefully we can have a 5 point gap to Scunthorpe. That would be ideal. And get our first win and play well. One thing he said in that interview, which I actually agree with, our home performances have actually been competitive, haven't they?
We didn't deserve to lose to Bradford.
Oh no, definitely not.
Or Macclesfield.
We should have beat Macclesfield.
And even Exeter was
either way.
Wasn't it?
Leicester was either way.
So he makes a really good point there. We've got a foundation of good performances at home. We just need to put points. We need to get wins. We need to get that first win off our back. And then, look, if we win Saturday, Northampton's, as we always know, a really tough match. Whatever happens there happens.
They're not in great form either. So.
No, I mean, I've got the league table here. And obviously we're second bottom with 3 points. But Carlisle are only 4 points above us. And they've lost 4 games. They've let in 13 goals and only scored 8. So... We've only 2 wins and 1 draw, so they're not exactly anything to be spared by. It's really funny because Northampton have exactly the same record: 1-2 drawn, 1 lost 4. So the next 2 matches, I think, are quite winnable in terms of the matches.
They're very important, very huge.
Exactly. Now we will come on to our team selections for Saturday. Now we're not going to do Northampton because I'm going to put a little something out there on social media. So we're just going to do our team for Saturday. Harley, I'll come to you first with your team selection. I want to see the team that you've chosen, the formation, the players who you've chosen, and why you've chosen the team.
I'd like to give Bastian a run out.
Oh, okay.
How
come?
I really liked him in the Czech trade. I really liked the way
He was
amazing.
Unbelievable, wasn't he?
No, I thought he looked really good, and I think he deserves a run out because although Farman's been great, I think Farman needs a rest as well at the same time. You can't.
Yeah.
And then obviously right back, Liv Wilding. Centre halves, I don't actually know who we've got fit.
I had this problem picking my team because obviously Scott Cuthbert's now re-injured.
I'd have to go with Alabd, even though he wasn't amazing at the weekend.
He struggled a bit.
Callum Watts.
Yeah.
And then Stokes left back.
Who's your midfield?
If Hussein's back from international duty, Hussein goes back into the middle.
Is he back? Because I know he's been in Dubai, isn't he?
He's been in Dubai at the moment.
Is he back? I mean, he hasn't. The only thing he hasn't trained. Well, I mean, he's played, but he hasn't trained with Samson, has he? So.
So if he's not back, I'd have Byram Saws if he's back, and then possibly Carter. Carter's back, isn't he?
Yeah, Carter's back.
And then up top, I'd have Kenners on the right, Newton on the left, Guthrie through the middle.
Nice. And a good attacking team again. You've got 3 really good players up there, Guthrie, Newton and Kenners.
I could easily swap Newton for List.
Yeah.
But I think List would be more impactful off the bench this game because of how quick he is. But I think, it could work vice versa either way. They're both...
Do you know what, though? I think Newton deserves a start after his 2 goals.
Yeah.
He was brilliant on Saturday.
Yeah.
Danny, your teammate, quickly run us through your team. Tell us the players, your formation, and why you've chosen the team you have.
Paul Farman in goal. He's our number 1. He's our first choice, obviously. I wouldn't mind if Bastian got an opportunity to play, but Farman goes in for me.
Yeah.
Luther, can't argue with that. He's our main right back. He goes in for me. Centre backs, I'll go with the lab still. Although I thought he had a poor game against Cheltenham. It's his first game, and I think he needs more game time to prove himself. In this league, and he's got plenty of experience, but obviously just to gel in with our team. It's only his first game, so I'd keep him. Kellen Watts alongside him. I think Kellen's been excellent on his loan spell. Very impressed with him. Chris Stokes at left back. Again, he's been fantastic. Midfield, Tom Saws if fit. If not, I'll play Hussein. But ideally, it's CDM Tom Saws. And then my 3, I'm going to put in that midfield there. Byram, Carter, and Kennedy. I thought they were excellent against Cheltenham. And Guthrie and Newton. I think Newton should play up front with Guthrie.
Yeah, after the good performance. Again, I said that to Harley a minute ago.
I've always wanted them to play together.
Yeah, no, I like that, Dan. It's a really good team. Now, my team, I'm chosen this team, and I'm choosing this team for Carlisle and Northampton. So I'm kind of tying the team in with both of our next fixtures coming up. Now, this is on the basis that Tom Saws is fit, so I'm praying that Saws is. My team have gone Paul Farman in goal, no brainer in goal. A back line, I've gone Luther, a right back. Centre halves, I've actually put Tom Saws there, just if he's fit. If he's not, then he'll have...
How that's a thing now? If he's fit.
We can never just do a normal team, can we? If he's fit, I don't think we've had that once.
We're not
honestly, I've gone Saws, I've gone Kellen Watts, Stokes as my back four, so I play four. I'm then putting just one in front, just to sit in front of the back four and distribute the ball in Joel Byram. In front of Joel, I've gone a 3. I've put Kennedy on the right hand side, cutting in. In front of Byram, I've gone Charlie Carter. Getting fit. Getting on the ball. To the left, I've put Elliot List coming in on his right. So there's two good creative players on either side. And then my 2 up top, I've gone Curtis Guthrie and Danny Newton. And that's my team for both matches. I think Danny Newton deserves a start. He was brilliant when he came on Saturday, best player in our team. And I really want to see Curtis play well Saturday, because we've been playing 40-yard passes to him, 50-yard passes all season, and I want to see the ball to his feet a bit more.
I'm not being funny, although he's like 6'3", I think it is. He can't head the ball very well. He's the complete opposite of what he's meant to be. He's a very good.
On the ball,
really good on the ball.
Draws fouls and
his hold-up play is excellent.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
Can I just say, I forgot one certain player that I was going to put in.
Who's that?
Elliot List.
Oh,
I forgot him.
We named it. Oh, Danny. What do you mean the fourth fastest player on FIFA? Do you mean?
Yeah.
That Elliot List. Maybe he's
in my team sheet. I forgot to.
Can we just say what a stat that is? What was it? 95 acceleration on FIFA 20.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, he looks quick in real life.
Elliot List. Do you know what? I put that on my family WhatsApp chat, but I had to, because my brother and my dad are Arsenal fans, so I sent them a picture saying quicker than Aubameyang eyes, and they were like never. So it is. That was quite good to be fair, yeah. But no, that's my team for the 2 matches. Obviously, I'd imagine there'll be an injury Saturday. Do you know what? I'll put a bet on with you boys right now. I'll do a 5 each with you. Right, this is on the podcast. 5 each with you that someone gets injured on Saturday. And if it don't, and if someone doesn't, I owe you both a 5 on the podcast next week.
Okay,
deal.
Sounds good.
Deal. We've shaken on it. That is my deal to you. You want to know we'll get injured now, so it's like a win-win in a way.
Rich next week.
Which is literally, honestly. Now we're going to move on from obviously the matches that we've just spoken about. Now we do have a fan voice in today. Now, the fan voice, this is a new feature that we have on the podcast, where it gives other supporters who haven't been on the podcast or want to get involved with the podcast a chance for their voice to be heard, as we want this podcast to be a podcast for the fans. And the fan that we have today is Nate.
Excellent.
Nate's done it once, and Nate was on last week, so we have got Nate once again this week. So we're just going to take a quick listen to Nate's fan voice. Now, I've had a good listen to this, and I'm looking forward to this. Nate's is really, really good. So we're just going to take a listen to Nate's fan voice, and then we're going to have a quick discussion about it after. Oh, we can't hear that very well, can we, Nate? What has happened there? Let me just see if I can play this again. I don't know why that's not coming up very loud. See if we can try Nate again. Should we edit this bit now?
Yeah, I can do that.
We can do it.
Right,
where were we again? We were at Fan's Voice.
Just,
right,
what I'm saying is, because you've got the podcast recording on there, it's quieter than...
I know, that's why. Okay, should we edit this, and should we start from... What was I saying? Right, let's move on. So I start from that, and then hopefully... Do you reckon that would work?
Yeah, give it a 5-second buffer.
5-second buffer.
That way I can cut it out.
Right, so what, quiet and then do it, yeah? Okay. So we are now going to move on from talking about our upcoming match against Carlisle and Northampton. Now, originally we were going to do Fan's Voice, and I'm going to message Nate, but unfortunately we've had some signal issues, so we're not going to be able to play Nate's Fan Voice. And Nate, we are very sorry, don't worry, I'll message Nate prior. Fan's Voice is something that we want to do every week. We will be doing it next week when we do get the signal. Now, we are going to be moving on to the League 2 section. So the League 2 roundup. This is a section where we talk everything League 2 every week. We go through the league table, fixtures, results, goal scorers, the lot. It's going to be really good. Now, normally Joe's here to do this, but obviously Joe's not here today. So
Joe's MIA.
Where is Joe? Where's Joe gone?
It feels odd.
Joe's our League Two representative. He hasn't been in the last 2 weeks. I have to do his job for him. I love the quiz, and hopefully Joe, please come back next week, and then we've got you on the League Two roundup. Now the League Two roundup. Obviously, we weren't the only match on Saturday. There were other matches, so we are going to quickly go through those matches, and we're going to look at the results that happened on Saturday. Now, it was quite a high-scoring weekend, actually. A lot of goals, a couple of draws in there, which were really, really good. We're just going to go through the results. Obviously, Borough losing 4-2. Bradford 2, Northampton 1. Cambridge 0, Forest Green 1. Carlisle 1, Exeter 3. Obviously, our results. Colchester 0, Walsall 0, Grimsby 0, Crewe 2, Leyton Orient 1, Swindon 3, Macclesfield 1, Crawley 1, Mansfield 2, Scunthorpe 0, Morecambe 2, Salford 2, Newport 1, Port Vale 0, and Plymouth 2, Oldham 2. Now, are there any results there, lads, that are a bit of a shock to you?
Plymouth Oldham.
Yeah, at home. Plymouth.
Away, I could have seen. If it was at Oldham, I could have seen that being a result, but.
And I think Plymouth are having a little blip at the minute. They're not doing too great the last few matches, are they? I mean,
No.
At the start they were great. They started brilliantly, winning at Crewe 3-0, etc.
Yeah.
But they've slipped.
Every
recently.
team goes through them little blips, so
Yeah, I completely
a bit
agree.
like us at the moment.
I think another good result, Crewe winning at Grimsby.
Yeah,
what a win that is, because Grimsby's Blundell Park's like a fortress there, and Crewe up the top. That's a big win for Crewe, that is. Happy we're not playing them for a while till Christmas, to be fair, because that'll be a tough game. Forest Green winning 1-0, Bradford beating Northampton 2-1, and Morecambe 2-2 with Salford. So there's some good results there.
Yeah,
now I'll quickly read out the league table. I've got the league table in front of me. We'll start with the bottom place, because I always like to do that. In 24th currently is Scunthorpe United with 1 point. In 23rd place is Borough with 3 points. 22nd place is Oldham Athletic with 5 points. 21st place is Walsall with 6 points, and 20th place is Morecambe with 6 points. Up the top of the table, actually doing really, really well. In first place is Exeter City with 17 points. That's a really good start from Exeter. In second place, Newport County with 15 points, doing really well. In third place, Crewe Alexandra, also with 15 points, up there doing really well. Fourth place, Swindon Town, 14 points. Fifth, Forest Green Rovers with 13 points. Sixth, Cheltenham Town with 11 points. Seventh, Grimsby Town with 11 points. And eighth, Plymouth Argyle also with 11 points. So again, it's quite competitive through the division. And considering our start, we're only 7 points off 11th, which isn't bad considering that we haven't won a match yet. So it's quite a competitive division there. There seems to be a lot of really, really good results. I do have the goal scorers of League Two. Now, again, there were a lot of goals, and there's been a changeover in the goal scorers this week. Ooh. I've got the top six. Sixth place with 4 goals and 1 assist at the minute is Luke Norris of Colchester. So Luke's got 4 goals.
Stevenage lad as well.
Yeah, he's born in Lister, wasn't he? Luke Norris. In 5th place with 5 goals, no assists is Bez Lubala of Crawley Town. In 4th place with 5 goals and no assists is Owain Doyle. Get that name wrong every time. Now on here it says Bradford/Swindon. I do believe Doyle plays for Swindon, doesn't he? So I don't know what says Bradford on there. Swindon. In 3rd place at 5 goals, no assists is Lewis Alessandro of Morecambe. It's a bit not shock one, but one that you wouldn't normally see a Morecambe player in the top 3. 2nd place at 5 goals and 2 assists is James Hanson of Grimsby. And currently first place in the goal scoring, 6 goals and 1 assist is Danny Rose from Mansfield. So it's quite competitive up there. It would be good to see Curtis Guthrie or Danny Newton up. Obviously Danny Newton's got 2 top goal scorers, so it'd be great to see Newton.
Craig McHale-Smith.
Craig McHale-Smith, Curtis Guthrie. Curtis has got 1. So you never know. At least our centre forwards are scoring goals. That's a big positive at the minute.
Yeah.
So no, really good to go through some of that and the league table goal scorers and fixtures. Now, it is time to move on to something very exciting, and Harley, I know, is absolutely buzzing about this.
Oh, yes.
It is, and I'm going to get my voice ready. But again, I say it every week that we need a name for this, but I'm just going to roll with it because it doesn't need a short name.
I don't think we can change it.
I don't think we can change it. People relate to it now. It is the Stevenage Football Club Podcast League 2 Fixtures Prediction Competition. Oh. Big round of applause for the competition. This is very exciting. Now, this is a competition where Borough fans or any person can get involved. and predict the League 2 fixtures. There's a league table and a system. You get 3 points. 3 points correct for a correct prediction. 2 points for half a prediction. So if you get one team's goal score line right, you get no points for a wrong prediction, and you always get an extra bonus point if you get a prediction right on Borough's score. So whether that's half prediction or correct prediction, you get a bonus point. Now, it was a big scoring weekend just gone. Now, obviously, we were gutted about Borough, but my day was then made up of the points that well, I say I scored. I didn't know how much Harley got at the time. But it was a good scoring weekend. I will read out some stats. Joe didn't put his predictions in, so Joe got 0.
Well done, Joe.
That's what we like to hear.
Joe has done that twice. I feel like he deserves an award for that, for missing. If he does it again, I'm going to kick him out of the league. Another stat, Jack Slater didn't put his predictions in. 0 points. Jack and Joe, you have to remember to do your predictions before 1 o'clock. The reason why before 1 o'clock is team selections and all sorts. I want it to be done before 1. They didn't put their predictions in. Other credible notices. Matt Farley with 16.
What?
With 16 points. I'm really proud of that. I've had 17 and 16 in 2 weeks. And the big score of the weekend, matching Patrick Jackson's highest score of 24 points, getting 24 points, was Harley Clark. So Harley is doing brilliantly in this at the minute.
I surprised myself for that.
Fantastic
You have.
form.
And do you know what? The league table is brilliant, and I'm about to read it out now. It's fantastic. Currently in 14th place with 15 points is Jack Slater. Big round of applause, Jack. In 13th place with 16 points is Nate. Well done, Nate. Fantastic, Nate. In 12th place with 40 points. So there is a huge gap. I don't know how Nate and Jack are going to make up on 12th place. 12th place with 40 points is Charlie Vaughan. Well done, Charlie. In 11th place with 44 points down in the Dudhams is Borough Bits. Big round of applause for Borough Bits.
Joe.
In 10th place, having an improved weekend, with 57 points, is Reece Donnelly.
What?
Making
Reece doing
a
well.
comeback. Build away from Joe with 13 points. In 9th place, with 61 points, is Mark Slater. Well done, Mark, beating his brother. Now, this is where it gets interesting because there is a 10-point difference to the next position. In 8th place, with 71 points, is Ollie Long. Well done, Ollie. In 7th place with 76 points, and this is so competitive going up now, is James Walker. Well done, James. In 6th place with 79 points, 3 points ahead of James, big round of applause, is Hartley Borough. In 5th place with 84 points is Danny Lasby. Well done, Danny. Doing well there. In 4th place, and I am very happy about this because I've been chasing him all season long, with 87 points, is Aidan Cheevers. Well done, Aidan.
Well, Aidan.
Now, I am very proud to read this because I'm just content with top 3. In 3rd place, 2 points ahead of Aidan with 89 points, is Matt Farley. Come on.
Well done.
Where's the round of applause?
Well done.
Oh, come on. I did well. Come on, the Farley. Coming back top 3. Now, this is where it gets interesting. In 2nd place with 107 points, so into the triple figure mark, is Patrick Jackson. Well done, Patrick.
Well done, Patrick.
And in 1st place currently with a whopping 119 points is Harley Clark. Well done, Harley.
Thank you very much.
That is, I'm just saying you're 30 points clear of me at the minute. I've got some work
But I think it is developing into very much 2 people fight for 1st and 2nd, 2 people fight for 3rd and 4th.
I'm still in the race for 3rd, I think.
And do you know what? I'm just going to throw out there from Ollie Long. Right, I'm just going to. Ollie Long to 3rd place is 18 points.
That's a week.
That is nothing.
That's one good week.
That is nothing. So, I've got to be honest, when we first started this competition, I wasn't sure how it would go. I wasn't sure if it would be a success, but I'm loving it. It's a great competition.
I really love it.
Harley's doing well, but it was such a brilliant week. So again, if you want to get involved in the competition, please tweet us at the Stevenage Football Club podcast, Twitter page and the Facebook page. The tweets and the Facebook statuses go out every week for people to get involved. It's great fun. Now, obviously, there are fixtures this Saturday. I will quickly run through the League 2 fixtures. Now, really quickly before I do this, I understand that we have a match Tuesday. There will be a private status and a tweet about the prediction on Tuesday for the Tuesday matches. So don't worry if you haven't heard them. This is all about Saturday at the minute. The fixtures for Saturday, there's some really, really good games. Obviously, Borough versus Carlisle. There's Crawley v Mansfield, Exeter v Leyton Orient, Forest Green v Colchester, Northampton v Newport, Oldham v Grimsby, Port Vale v Plymouth, Salford v Cheltenham, Scunthorpe v Morecambe, Swindon v Macclesfield and Walsall v Bradford. So there's some really good games. Now, boys, I understand that we've done our predictions. Harley, I'm going to come to you first with your League 2 predictions. Fly us through yours. Oh, actually, I don't know whether to give my list or not because...
Hold on.
So, for the listeners, I was about to hand in my list, but I've got results on, so I don't want him to copy mine because I want points made up for
me. I'm first in the league. I don't need to copy your results.
He's ahead by a lot.
It's me you shouldn't give the sheet to.
Well, I mean, that is true. Yeah, very true. Now, Harley, tell us your results, fly through.
I'm going 2-1 Crawley against Mansfield.
Okay.
Crewe 3, Cambridge 1. Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 0. Forest Green 2, Colchester 0. Northampton 0, Newport 1. Oldham 1, Grimsby 2. Port Vale 1, Plymouth 1. Salford 1, Cheltenham 1. Scunthorpe 1, Morecambe 1. Stevenage 2, Carlisle 0. Swindon 2, Macclesfield 1. Walsall 1, Bradford 1.
Brilliant, Harley. Thank you very much for those fixtures there. I will just add, I missed out one again on my sheet. Crewe, Cambridge. I just see that when you read it out. I thought, I do this every week. I miss one out, so very sorry for the listeners. Yeah, Crewe, Cambridge was one we missed. Danny, fly us for your fixtures, mate. Your results.
I'm going with Crawley 1, Mansfield 2. Crewe 3, Cambridge 0. Exeter 2, Leyton Orient 0. Forest Green 2-1 against Colchester. Newport to beat Northampton 2-1. Oldham, Grimsby. I've gone with a 2-0 win for Grimsby. Port Vale, Plymouth. I'm going with 2-1 Plymouth.
Okay.
Salford, Cheltenham. I think Salford will win 1-0. Stevenage, Carlisle. I'm going for a 1-0 win for Stevenage.
Nice, good man. Well done. 3 points.
Swindon, Macclesfield. I'm actually going 2-2
2-2
in this one. And Walsall, Bradford. I'm going for a 2-1 Bradford win.
2-1 Bradford win. Danny, thanks for your predictions, mate. A really good predictions. Now, mine are as follows. I'm going to start with Borough because I always start with Boroughs every week. I am actually going Borough 2, Carlisle 0. Throwing it out there. Guthrie to get the goals, or Newton to get the goals. First win of the season. I say it every week. If people want to slate me for it, it's easy, you know. It's one of those things.
I've missed out a fixture.
Oh, who did you miss out?
Scunthorpe, Morecambe. Just to
go on, really quickly.
0-0.
0-0. Good man. Yeah, mine Borough 2, Carlisle 0. I am then going for Crawley 1, Mansfield 2, Crewe 3, Cambridge 0, Exeter 1, Leyton Orient 0, Forest Green 1, Colchester 1, Northampton 2, Newport 2, Oldham 1, Grimsby 3, Port Vale 0, Plymouth 2, Salford 0, Cheltenham 1, Scunthorpe 1, Morecambe 1, Swindon 2, Macclesfield 1 and Walsall 0, Bradford 1. So they're my fixtures and predictions. So it should be really interesting to see how we get on after Saturday, because as we've seen, one person, as we've seen with Harley and Patrick, they seem to take over. Now, once again, for the listeners that are listening, the predictions will be Facebooked and tweeted on Tuesday night's matches privately, so don't worry if you're in the competition, you haven't heard the Tuesday night ones, it will be done privately, so do not worry. That was the League 2 roundup, fellas. That was really good. That was really good. Really good to go through those matches.
We don't need Joe.
We don't need Joe. He throws in trivia and throws us off tasks. We don't need Joe. Joe, we want you back, but you know, you did take a good half an hour on League 2 last time. That's all you know. So, but no, League 2 roundup all done. Really, really good. Now we'll move on to last section. Obviously, I think tonight was probably the biggest podcast we've done, but actually gone through the quickest, probably, surprisingly. Nearly 50 minutes. Now it is the Q&A section. So I've got to be honest, this is probably my favourite section, actually. This is when I tweet out on Facebook a chance for supporters to get involved and send questions over for us at the panel to discuss and answer. And we've got loads of questions today. We've got 6, so we've got 2 each, which is really, really good.
It's always good.
Now, First question is going to come to Danny today, and this is from Pothole89. Thanks, Pothole.
Pothole89.
And the question is, if you could go back and restart pre-season, what would you change?
In pre-season.
Well, that's a good one. I like that.
Very good one. And by the way, I have to apologise to Pothole because this was on Borough Chat. He said this, and he said I asked this quite a while ago and I never saw it. So I do apologise for Pothole. So his question's finally got asked.
It's a very good question. And a very difficult one for me to answer, actually, but I will answer it. What would I change if we went back to pre-season? Obviously, we had a lot of trialists. There was a few trialists that I felt that the club should have considered taking on. Perhaps that's one of the changes we could have done. I can name a few trialists. Obviously. There was one trialist called, Theo Archibald. I think we all remember him from when he was on trial.
Yeah, good point, actually. I
thought he was very good, and I would have, obviously taken him at the club. So, obviously, trialists, not all the trialists, but there was a few that I really liked that could have, got into the team. I think we did, I'm not sure whether we had a few injuries over pre-season, but obviously the fitness in the squad needed to change. It's a very difficult question for me to ask, actually.
Any things that you would change,
I think it's one of them questions where you're like, well, you can't really change anything about pre-season because it's all about building towards the new season. And we did build towards the new season, just it hasn't gone our way.
Yeah, do you know what? I totally agree with that. I don't think there's much you could change. You couldn't really change because injuries happen. I wouldn't have changed the pre-season preparations. I think Jersey was a great idea for the team, and I think the pre-seasons we had were good ones. I don't think there's really anything to change, to be honest. But really good question from Pothole. Thanks for sending that in, mate. Next one is coming to you, Harley, and this question is from Old Borough Bar Steward. Does the panel think Dino should have been given September or at least the next 2 home matches to improve our fortunes?
I would have given him the next 2 home games. Or possibly just even Saturday. But then if I'd only given him Saturday, they don't train on Sunday, don't train on a Monday, I don't think.
I think they go on the Monday, but not the Sunday.
Oh, well, is it only 1 day of training with a new manager? It's not gonna work out. So I probably would have given him two Saturday and Tuesday, but
yeah.
I think it is the right decision, and I do think it was inevitable. And yeah, I couldn't actually really, to be honest with you, see us getting any better. I think it's been pretty dire in terms of away performances, and I think that we've had some winnable games. Like say Exeter could have quite easily won that. Morecambe should have absolutely hammered them, and then even Bradford, we should have beat Bradford, and we
should have. I don't know how the ball did go, and even Macclesfield, we had all those chances. It's a really good answer, actually. I'm the same as you. After Cheltenham, I think I said to people on the supporters coach, I'd give him the next 2 home matches or even Saturday just to see how we get on. But then when I think back to it and I go, and I think, sorry, you know what? If we lose those next 2 matches, we're in a worse place than we were. So I think changing it early, getting Sampson in, getting Ravel in as assistant and changing things up now, probably our 2 easiest matches coming up on paper. I think it was a really good choice from Phil Wallace, to be honest. But interesting question. Thanks for that, Old Borough Bar Steward. That was really good. Next question is coming from myself, and this question is from Wasp. And Wasp has asked, do you think there was friction between Dino and Sampson this season? Now, my answer to this is I don't know what goes on behind the training scenes. It's a difficult question to ask. I don't know anything. Sampson and Dino might have been the best of mates. They might not have been. I don't particularly know. If you want my opinion, I don't think there was any friction. I just think things didn't work out. And that's about it. I don't really know anything, to be honest.
You remember, people can think things all they like. Unless you're there, you ain't going to find out.
It's like the injuries. People were saying Dino's injuring the players all the time.
On closed doors.
Exactly. So do you know what? It's a bit of a rhetorical question, that, because I can't really answer it. All I'll say is, in my honest opinion, no, I don't think there was friction. I think they got on well. I think Dino was very happy to bring Mark in, and I think Mark's done an excellent job. So no, I don't think there is at all. Next question, coming back to you, Harley, is Craig Keenan. Now, Craig has asked, what type of manager should we go for? Experienced, tried and tested, or inexperienced, new, raw and hungry?
I think you could quite easily get someone who's the best of both, if that makes sense, in Samson. Samson's got elite level management experience, granted in the women's game, but it's still very high level. But he's also young, he's also hungry and ready for a challenge in League Two. Because you can have all the experience in the world in the women's game, but that sort of football, like that high level football, is completely different to League Two football, where it's much more gritty and very much just score a goal. But no, I think you've got to try and find someone who's the right mix of both.
Yeah.
Because I do think Samson, for the time being, could possibly be the best bet we actually get.
Do you know what? I completely agree with you. I think that the level that he's managed at and the pressure that he's managed under, I think they're going to be really important kind of components to what he's going to bring to our team and our football club.
Exactly.
And I think that, you've got your argument there for getting in the old tried and tested Michael Appleton, Steve Evans type of managers. But do you know what? A lot of those managers like to club hop, and I think Samson will want to rebuild his career with us, and I think it's a good platform for him to do so.
There is.
Really good answer to that. Danny, next question. We've got 2 more questions left. This question is coming from Reece Donnelly.
Oh.
Reece, Reece never puts a question in. Reece Donnelly has asked, how long does Samson get to prove himself?
Good question, Reece. Obviously, get a few games. But I think maybe up until... depending on how he does, really.
I think you could not necessarily cut the next 2 games out, but just say that's a bit of a free space in terms of his.
Maybe a month. See how he does in a month.
What, and then
if he has a successful September.
But my point
we're
would,
moving up the table and picking up points, then maybe he'll.
My point would be to keep him regardless, wouldn't it? Because
whether it's his manager or not,
you want Mark at the club, don't you? Regardless, I mean, he's such a big asset to have.
We'll give him plenty of time possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think what we need to do as supporters now is, a lot of people were calling for Dino to be fired. He's been fired. We really need to back Mark and the team. The players need the backing now. Mark needs the backing. He's come in. Mark's an exceptional coach. He's done brilliant in other parts of football. And we really need to back him now. And people need to, Dino's gone. We need to get on with Mark, but to support Mark in what Mark's doing. So I think, it's really, really important. Now, last question is, this is a funny question, and Harley has just seen this question and he's laughing at this. And for any of the Borough Chats listeners will know about this little debacle. We will speak about this because I want to put this to bed, quite frankly. Now, this question has come from Lock13, and Lock has asked, what round do you reckon Wody will KO you in? Now, do you boys know about this?
Vaguely.
Do you know about this?
No.
Okay, I'm going to delight the listeners.
Please
so basically, on Borough Chat, we were coming over on the Goat Saturday. I put a post out just explaining my views on the match. It was just a normal post. I was disappointed, saying a few things. And I got such a jokey response from Jeff Wode. Is that how you pronounce his name? Is it Jeff Wode? Jeff Wode. And this was, I look upon it quite funny now, but it was such a, I'm going to say it, piss-taking post, right? And it's just something that you do not want someone to say to you after just watching your beloved football team get played off the park.
It did make me laugh.
It did, and you're on the cut and you just think, what is the point of that? Can you just be constructive about the thread I made? So Jeff, do you know what? I did invite Jeff on. But he didn't. I invited him on. I said, look, come on the podcast. We'll have a discussion. He didn't want to come on.
He's backed out. He is backed
So
out.
do you know what? Your answer to that question is, he doesn't want it. Because he didn't come on the podcast. Oh, I don't know. But, I have had boxing experience and amateur fights, so I'd like to think I could back myself in a boxing ring. So for Jeff, if Jeff's had some sort of combat sports, then good luck to you, Jeff. But no, very funny. I do want to put this to bed, though. There was a massive debate on this. I'm shocked you boys haven't read it.
So I saw your post and then I saw that response and I was just like...
And then there's this, is it Agent Eves? Is he someone does he live in Canada? He's not from here?
I don't know.
I think he lives in Canada. He's giving me criticism about me having to lighten up as a person. Agent Eves, I've never met you, so don't tell me that I need to change as a person. I will take criticism from people I've met, and you're not one of them, and you're not one that you'll ever meet. Oh, big run, but there you go. But no, thank you for the question, Lot. And done, brilliant. But no, thanks for your question, Lot. That is very fun. I'm sure Jeff's a lovely guy. So that is it from the questions and answers. So thanks to all the listeners and all the people that got involved with the questions. Now, we have been going bang on an hour, which is unbelievable for such a big podcast. We're at the end, lads. Considering this was probably our biggest podcast with everything that's happened this week. An hour. Unbelievable. I mean, the hour and a half a couple of weeks ago was from Joe non-stop, wasn't it, for the League Two round?
You can blame Joe for it.
You can blame Joe for that. Now, just a couple of things just to mention. We are very sorry again for Fans' Voice. We are having some signal problems right now. We couldn't play Nate's video. We will be getting Nate back on Fans' Voice next week, and we'll get an extra. Harley and Folly's Disagreement Corner. Now, originally we were going to do this, but because there's a couple of people who were going to come on that aren't, we are going to save that for next week. And in my opinion, best debate.
Yeah, it will be.
And Harley, we've had a look.
Yeah.
Best debate, and it'll be a lot better to do after the first two matches with Samson in charge. So we're saving that for next week. So do not worry, it's not on next week. It'll be on. It'll be a brilliant debate. Hopefully, it'll be four of us. Hopefully, with Joe, and we'll have a real crack at that debate.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of other things. The charity football match.
Oh, yes.
Now, this is something we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. We didn't mention last week. On the 21st of December at 10 a.m. kickoff, there will be a Stevenage Football Club podcast charity football match. Now, it is the day that Borough have a home match against Crewe. So do not worry if you want to get involved or get involved with the football match. You'll still be able to go to the match. The charity game will be over about 11:45, so it gives people a chance to go and get ready and go off the Borough. Now, we do have, I do believe, 24 people at the minute who can play. Harley, you're now one of them.
I am.
I think are you in the chat? Are you in the...
I certainly am.
You are. I need to add you. I've forgotten about you.
Oh, thanks for
No. Because when you said to me you couldn't play, I made a chat with all the players. So I need to add you to that. With you, we've got 24. So we have got 2 teams of 12. Hopefully we'll get a couple more numbers just to add some more subs. But 2 teams. It's £10 entry fee. It gets us use of the Valley Sports Academy pitch, which is great, which is in. It also gets us a kit each to keep. And there's going to be some great initiatives. There's going to be, hopefully, I'm going to have a chat with the club about getting some merchandise for charity to sell. There's going to be some fundraising events. There's going to be a sweepstake on the match and goal scorers, so that'll be really good to get involved and raise some money. The charity is for children with cancer, so it's a really important charity, and we want to try and raise as much as possible and give to children with cancer. So yeah, that's something to mention. And I don't really think we've got anything else to mention, have we, lads?
That's it.
We've ticked everything off. Now, I say this every week. Big match Saturday. Big match Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm going to come to you, Harley. Win, draw, lose. Win, Danny.
Of course, it's going to be a win.
Win,
Samson's going to get his first win.
Yeah, win, me. I think it's vital for us to get at least a win on the board from one of these 2 matches.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you to all the listeners that have got involved and listened to the podcast. Again, I'll be tweeting and Facebooking out about the League Two predictions for Tuesday night's match. Do not worry. This time next week, hopefully, we'll have at least 6 points on the board, or even 2 draws, and just have something there. But we will be covering the matches from our home match against Carlisle, home match against Northampton, and then we'll be on the build-up to our 10th league game, which will be away at Forest Green, the Burger King vegan derby. So that's one to look forward to. But once again, thank you for all the listeners. It's been a really, really good podcast today, and we will see you next week for another fantastic podcast in Borough's quest to get points in League Two. So thank you to all the listeners. You have been listening to the Stevenage Football Club podcast.